there, comic book people of the world, it's comic book day, and Barry messed up the timeline yet again. But first, let's talk about X-Force issue number 7. Young Nate Gray, also known as Cable, has been kidnapped by his twin clone brother-ish that happens to be Strife, and things are not looking good for him, being that the technovirus that he has is just about to take control over his whole body yet again. Although really, the technovirus really took control of his older self, and this is his younger self, so it's a whole timey-wimey kind of thing. But anyways though, this is surprisingly a really good issue, and I'm really happy with the X-Force series, although I'm not too happy with the artwork in this. But if you can look past it, I think the storyline itself is fairly well done. SHAZAM issue number 5. The whole SHAZAM family is still trapped in the Magic Land, but enter Black Adam, who's kind of pissed off at Billy Batson for some of the mistakes he's made. His whole anti-heroic thing, this can be a part of this storyline, is not explained yet, but I'm sure it's not going to be good for the rest of the SHAZAM family. Also, the Tiger Tawny is a part of this, and I'm not really quite sure what his role is going to be, but it doesn't look too good for him at this point. There's even a panel where I was thinking, oh my god, what are they going to do with this? Batman Detective Comics issue number 1003. We find out the identity of Arkham Knight, which is something that I was not expecting. I gotta give mad respects to Damian in this issue because he does take a world of beating, and he's still able to come out as a badass. And for me to say that, being that I hate Damian, that's pretty darn awesome. Symbiote Spider-Man issue number 2. This is a mini-series taking place during the time frame when Spider-Man had his symbiote costume, and he didn't know that it was an alien entity. It's not a retelling, it's just talking about a storyline that apparently was never told before during that time. Mysterio is the center of this story. In this issue, we get to see a very brutal death that was quite shocking. Well, shocking in the sense that you weren't expecting this to be in a Spider-Man comic, and something that you really didn't think would happen with Spider-Man still wearing the costume. Personally, I am liking this story. Wonder Twins issue number 4. I'm going to be very blunt and say that you either like the Wonder Twins or this is a story that you just can't stand. I personally am reading it because I feel like I have to, but at the same time, I'm not really enjoying it, and I see that a lot of people online do like it, so I'm kind of wondering why is it that I'm just not getting into it. The whole idea that the Wonder Twins do exist in the DC universe, and their whole storyline is more on the sidelines, not taking part of any of the superheroics that's going on, is something that I do appreciate. Maybe after this mini-series is over and they team up with maybe Young Justice, I may get into them a bit more though. Finally, let's talk about Flash issue number 70, Year 1 Part 1. Like many characters before him, Flash is getting his own Year 1 storyline being told, a lot of which we already know about from the TV show and previous incarnations of the Flash, and the whole idea that Barry did receive his powers through accident, or at least seemingly through accident. And this is a solid first issue with everything that we'd expect from Barry Allen when he does receive his abilities. Although I do find it interesting that it seems as though maybe his future self, or maybe another Flash being from the future, is coming back and saying, hey Barry, you messed up the timeline yet again. Although I'm going to assume this is supposed to be part of the whole timeline, and this is part of the whole Year 1 thing, or the whole timey-wimey thing, which I hate saying that term over and over again, but that's the only way to explain the whole timeline messing up and the whole convergences of stuff. I do find it interesting in the first couple of pages, we see a young Barry Allen reading comic books that have the Flash Jay Garrick in it, which that's something very interesting that I hope is going to be expanded on later, or at least when the whole Watchmen series, the Doomsday Clock series is over, and we get to see Jay Garrick return back to the DC universe. Regardless of that though, I am going to continue on reading this series to see what the writers have in mind. But anyways though, that's my comic load for this week. What did you guys read? Leave comments down below and let me know. With that, thank you guys for watching me in this video. Be sure to check out my Patreon site when you have a chance, check out my social media sites, my websites, and everything else out there. Peace, love, namaste, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. How many times has Barry messed up the timeline at this point? I mean, in different universes and alternate realities and everything, it seems like it's happened a lot.